Baker, what are the challenges and adjustments with this offense right now?
Talked about it post-game, getting more completions, getting the ball in the playmaker's hands.
Baker, I know you pride yourself on your accuracy. When you're struggling a little bit like you are over the last couple of weeks, do you just go back to, do you do more film study? Do you get back to mechanics?
Mechanics. I'd say it just goes back to getting the basics down. Not getting ahead of my feet, making sure I'm in the right place at the right time. Getting my feet going, and my eyes will follow.
You feel like you're rushing the ball a little bit? Or
nope. No.
Is that what you attribute the high throws to?
Sure, yeah.
Would you like to get the plays in or off quicker? Some of them are getting under 5 seconds. That was uncharacteristic, I thought, of the offense. Is there a reason for that?
No, I'd say, yeah, just getting the ball out quick, getting the playmaker's hands like I talked about. Just taking care of our guys, not putting our O-line in a bind, especially against a team like this with, a great defense. So we'll work on those challenges and move forward.
Baker, go ahead. You're holding on the ball just a little bit longer this year than last year. Is that some of the looks you're getting? Is it new personnel you're trying to work in? Is it
I think it's a mix of a little bit of everything. Yeah, we're getting a little bit different looks, but we also need to expect some of the things we're getting just based on who we have at personnel-wise, at receiver and everything like that. So just getting the ball out, having answers for anything to do, doing what we're good at, and, like I said, finding completions.
Can you just talk about the challenges of going up against Aaron Valens? What makes him so good, and what do you have to worry about this weekend?
Obviously, he's an unbelievable player. I think, his game speaks for itself. He works very hard at what he does. That's why he's, the best in the game right now. And so, he creates a monster in itself within his game, but then also that creates opportunities, for other guys to get one-on-one matchups. So I think not just is his game a game changer, but it allows for those other guys to play free. And so they play well as a unit. They've been together for a few years. Coach Wade Phillips does a great job of getting them lined up and doing great things.
How much more challenging is it to game plan for Donald when they move him around like literally every spot in the line?
Yeah, he's one of those guys you got to know where he's at all times. So we're gonna, see as the week goes on how our game plan, unfolds and see how we're gonna practice and work about it.
I wanted to restate my question. My question was about getting out of the huddle, getting the snap off later than.
Well, that's not what you said earlier, but.
Yeah, that's why I decided to restate it.
Glad you get a second chance, yeah. No, I think we can be more efficient. Just overall, I think within getting, calls that we're comfortable with. I got to be better within the week of, giving Freddie confidence in what we're calling and what we're doing to where we can just line up there and he can trust us to go do the job, and no matter what he calls, I'm going to get it done.
Does that affect your rhythm when the play clock is getting down to 3, 2, 1 instead of getting up and going and kind of finding a groove with some tempo?
No, I think we got to be good at, working the clock and then also, playing fast when we need to. To me, it's just being able to manage it and do my job.
When Freddie says that he has to put you in better situations, from your perspective, what does that actually mean?
He's going to try and take care of me, but I have to do my job when it all comes down to it. He's our head coach, and he's going to say that, but I have to play better.
Does it impact you in any way that Drew Stanton is on IR? He's a great mentor for you. Does he still have every opportunity to be there that way?
Yeah, no, I'd say last year was a good example of what he's doing now. He wasn't playing last year either, wasn't dressing out, should I say, and no, he's always going to be there. He wants to win. He's a guy that, could kind of voice the message of what Freddie really wants on certain plays, of how to read it, and that's why he's in that quarterback room, and that's why he is a great mentor for me.
Because you guys aren't quite clicking on all cylinders right now, do you feel pressure to figure that out in a hurry because of the schedule coming up with 5 teams that are 2-0 and the Rams on Sunday night?
I don't feel any pressure about that. We're going to figure it out. I love how everybody's acting like the world's falling down. We can play better, but a win is a win, and we're never going to take that for granted.
Baker, you've talked about the goals. The goal is the Super Bowl. Of course, that's why we play the game. Mm-hmm. With the talent you have here, you've reiterated that and everything. The Rams coming here. How good of a measuring stick do you think they can be for you? This team is stacked. They were in the big game last year.
Yeah, no, I think it's it's good to kind of fence right a little bit about, last year doesn't matter at all, but it's also looking at it. They're a team that made it all the way, and they have a lot of the same guys and some added pieces as well. So, yeah, it's a good measuring stick for us, but it's about what we do. It's about the fact that we know it's going to be a great challenge, but when it comes down to it, we need to focus on us. We don't need to worry about anything else besides doing our job and whatever game plan we have to attack their team and their players that they have. We need to accomplish that.
Baker, I know you're worried about what's going on with this team. It's been a tough couple of weeks for big-name quarterbacks, though. Luck, Ben, Breeze. What are your reflections on that? Is it tough to see peers like that go down?
Yeah, you never want to see that. Tough to see that. With Breeze, obviously the contact of the thumb, it's not a good one. I think the one with Ben is, to me, scary. Just a non-contact throwing injury. You never want to see that. The non-contact injuries are tough. So, prayers out to him. And then, obviously, Andrew has been dealing with stuff for a little bit. You never want to see that. Those are guys that are faces of the franchise. But then you kind of see what the locker rooms are made of after that. Who's going to step up? Do they trust those guys? Do they trust the system? And so, that's what I say all the time. It's the next man up mentality, and we got to have, belief in whoever's playing.
With all the questions about what's not clicking for you guys, let's flip that around. What do you like through these first 2 weeks that you feel like you can build off of?
We improved on the penalties and in our run game from week 1 to week 2. And I think, as we see who we're going to be, talked about getting the ball out quick, getting completions, but also, trusting those guys up front and running the ball with Nick Chubb and whoever else is in there. I think, as we continue to grow and find out who this team really is going to be down the stretch, that'll be a big key to it.
The Rams have a lot of big names in that secondary. What stands out when you look at those guys? Like I said earlier, the defensive line is very talented, but it allows the secondary to play a bunch of different coverages. And obviously, Marcus Peters, Aqib Talib, they added Weddle into the bunch. And so you got a bunch of veteran guys that have seen a bunch of route patterns and have seen and played a bunch of football. So, it adds in making sure my eyes are going to be in the right place at the right time, going through my reads, because I can see one thing and they can react and play another. You talked about your eyes last week when we talked to you. Did you see an improvement in that area?
Yeah, improvement, but not good enough.
In some ways, these first 2 games, since it's the first time your offense has been all together, I mean, it's kind of been a little bit of a work in progress. Now you're getting a feel for exactly what Odell's going to do in a big game situation, how it's all going to work together, and do you feel like it's been sort of like that?
No, I don't think it's any of that. I think it falls back on me just playing better, getting the ball out, getting completions like I keep harping on, but just trusting the system. Everybody's got to do their job. We know what everybody's going to do. That's why we practiced in camp. That's why we did everything like that. And so just trusting to do my job.
Baker, are you excited to go toe-to-toe with the quarterback like Jared Goff?
Absolutely, excited to play against him. But, I always say I'm not exactly playing directly against him. It's fun to play against somebody and you're familiar with, but when it comes down to it, trying to get better each week and just find a way to win.
Should some of these offensive issues be sorted out when you're picking out what your favorite plays are and the meetings leading up?
Yeah, it's kind of like I said earlier, just giving Freddie more confidence in whatever he calls, knowing that he can have a completion. If a shot's not there, then I'm checking it down and finding a positive play.
When Odell makes the one-handed catch on the sideline and you throw what appears to be a simple 12-yard seam route to him and he turns it into an 89-yard touchdown. What have you learned about him that maybe you didn't know just from watching film of him?
I think he's a guy that really has another notch of speed when the lights come on. Like I keep saying it, getting the ball in his hands and seeing what they can do with it. Obviously, he showed what he can do.
He was, after the game, he was talking about he said you and Campen put that play in. What was that? What went behind that process? You were talking about cooking.
I said it after the game. It's kind of an RPO look, and we got the look we wanted, and he did the rest.
Did you reach out at all maybe to Mason Rudolph and kind of?
I haven't yet. No, I'll talk to him in a couple of weeks when we relive Bedlam.
The play we're talking about, the touchdown to Beckham, nobody covered him. Is that because of something you guys did?
No, it's just zone coverage. That they weren't going man right there, and so it's just finding holes and windows and finding a completion, and he's running through knowing exactly what he has to do and the speed and his depth on the route. He just made a great play.
Just from the standpoint that McVay has such a reputation as an offensive thinker at such a young age, have you looked into some of his concepts just to see what's going on with a mind like that?
I wouldn't say that I've directly studied what they're doing, but within, tape of watching other teams and whatnot, you see what they're doing, and they're having a lot of success. They do a great job of making, it's somewhat like the Patriots of a lot of formations look the same, and they're doing different stuff out of it, and personnel and just motions and some window dressing and getting teams to force to communicate and getting them out of place.
You didn't have a shot against last week. Just what would it mean to get him back on the field, especially Sunday night?
It'd be great to have Richard back. Anytime you can have somebody in there that I've thrown a lot of balls and, have chemistry with, that'd be great. But like I said, it's next man up mentality, and so we expect those guys to be able to execute as well. I think Ratley played great on Monday too.
Took a shot from Jamal Adams last week. Popped right back up and got to staring him down. You enjoy having that contact. A lot of quarterbacks kind of shy away from it. Enjoying that part of the game.
Yeah, it's football. Obviously, I don't enjoy getting hit every play, but Jamal's a guy that I'm gonna pop back up and talk trash to. He's a good guy.
With Jarvis, I know that you're looking where the Rays are taking you, but I think maybe you would like to try and make sure that you can get Jarvis involved in the game as much as you can, because that would be great for you.
Oh, absolutely. Like I keep saying, getting the ball in our playmakers' hands, and Jarvis is one of our guys. So getting him involved early and often, I think presents problems for defenses. You got a guy outside in Odell or wherever we put him, and then we got speed as well. And then you got Jarvis on the inside, making people miss and finding zones.
Has Chubb
Last one.
receiving ability?
Do what?
Chubb improved his receiving ability?
Yeah, he has. I think that's something that he continues to work on, and that he really, stresses, and he's hard on himself about the receiving stuff, and because people label him as just a downhill running back, and he's not a guy that's coming out of the backfield, and he sees guys like Gurley who went to his school, or McCaffrey, or other guys, Le'Veon. He wants to be just as dynamic, but he wants to win when it comes down to it.